Imagine a woman claiming to have had sex with over 1,000 men in 12 hours, becoming a millionaire and sparking a nationwide debate about sex, empowerment, and exploitation. Well, welcome to 1,000 Men and Me, the Bonnie Blue story. This is the Channel 4 documentary directed by Victoria Silva, which aired on the 29th of July 2025. It follows Tia Billinger, known as Bonnie Blue, who at the time is a 26-year-old former OnlyFans star who has claimed to have had sex with 1,057 men in 12 hours, aiming to break a world record. Her provocative petting zoo idea, being naked in a glass box for up to 2,000 men, got her banned from OnlyFans due to policy violations. The footage used in this documentary shows her prepping for the stunt: 1,600 condoms, numbing lube, 50 balaclavas. It's explicit, though certain scenes are pixelated. Channel 4 justified it editorially necessary in order to show the true stakes at play. The director's interviews are non-confrontational, and the film barely probes deeper motives or ethical considerations, leaving many big questions unanswered. Now, the documentary raised tension between the sex-positive entrepreneurship and the commodification of the female body. Bonnie frames her actions as feminist and business-savvy, but critics question whether it's empowering or reinforcing male fantasies. Some see her as a savvy innovator, a marketing genius who turned a taboo niche into profit. Others see harmful extremes with potential normalization of degraded sexual imagery. In one particularly disturbing element, she stages a classroom scene with models dressed as schoolgirls, chosen for their youthful looks, raising alarms about barely legal content. Blue has also attracted controversy for filming sexual content with university students, generally boys and men that have barely turned 18, as she often says, the younger the better. She has also commented that sex with married men is acceptable if the men are not satisfied by their spouses. Naturally, the documentary triggered massive backlash. Dozens of viewers complained to Ofcom, labeling it disgusting and a disgrace. Articles accused Channel 4 of sensationalism and clickbait over critical depth. And brands like Visa and Smirnoff pulled ads from the streaming version. In light of the backlash to the documentary, a new UK pornography task force, led by Baroness Burton, was planned to propose banning barely legal mimicking content. The documentary has made it a legislative flashpoint. Ofcom was forced to review the show after questions arose about how children could access such content without robust age verification. Public letters also emphasize concern over the pseudo-feminist narratives that celebrate individual sexual agency in ways that harm collective ethics. Bonnie herself was born in Stapleford, Nottinghamshire in May 1999. She never knew her biological father and was raised by her mother and stepfather instead. Before beginning her pornographic film career, she worked in a finance recruitment for the National Health Service and was married. In 2021, her marriage ended and she moved to Australia, although she told Cosmopolitan that in 2025 that her ex-husband still worked with her behind the scenes. In November 2024, her visas were cancelled in Australia and Fiji for working without an appropriate visa. Bonnie has stated in the past she was bored of living from 9 to 5, so she became a webcam model. And after making $5,000 in 1 week and $8,000 in her first month, she launched an OnlyFans page on which she posted videos of herself having sex with 18 and 19-year-old men. In January 2025, which this documentary is based on, Blue attempted to break the world record for the most number of sexual partners in one day. The record had been held by pornographic film actress Lisa Sparks since 2004, where she reportedly had sex with 919 men in a single day. Blue's co-stars wore balaclavas, and one man even brought his mother. And her final co-star began by thanking the cameraman and crew, and then singing "You've Got a Friend in Me" from Toy Story. Footage of the men queuing and one man being forcibly removed from the event by his mother subsequently became a viral video. Even though her team managed to get 12 hours worth of viewing to post onto her OnlyFans page, OnlyFans decided not to allow the post, saying that the men who slept with Bonnie on the day were not professionals. She would eventually be thrown off the OnlyFans site after announcing her petting zoo idea, in which she would be naked and tied up inside a glass box that would be accessible to the public, allowing men to do what they pleased with her body. She said her goal was to have sex with 2,000 men during the event. OnlyFans would ban her from the site, with The Economist attributing the ban to the platform's impending $8 billion sale. Now, many have been split sharply over Bonnie Blue's story. Journalist Sophie Wilkinson wrote of Blue, saying she's a cog in a far bigger machine and I just want to know who hurt her. While journalist Claire Hubble wrote, she was a reflection of an outraged economy. Some say she's given hypersexualization a figurehead. Victoria Smith accused her of promoting misogyny and dehumanization. Blue, for her part, insists sex work can be enjoyable and lucrative, $1 million business with her family's support. But different criticism has also emerged as to why the public shame on Blue and rather not the hundreds of men lining up. One journalist even compared it to the rape case of Giselle Pellicot, noting the disturbing similarities. Journalist Eve Wiseman pointed out that while women's motives are dissected endlessly, the men's actions are barely discussed. Some say that Blue defies the victim stereotype, instead claiming her own power, and that makes her perfect tabloid fodder. In the end, Bonnie Blue's story isn't just about sex, it's about who gets judged, who gets ignored, and what happens when agency and outrage collide. Now, at the end of the day, this is a life that Bonnie chooses, and that's her right. The sex industry is old. Platforms like OnlyFans and now Fansly are the latest evolution. But this documentary pushes us to ask, what is feminism 2025? Is it simply do what you want, or should it consider societal consequences? Also, it asks choice versus co-option. Are we celebrating electrical empowerment or fueling a system where women's bodies are public currency? And what of the male partners? Masked, depersonalized, acting out fantasies? The documentary barely acknowledged them as individuals with agency and consequences. For me, this documentary does highlight things like the incel culture, parasocial relationships, violence, and monetized hate, showing how the problem is broader than just one performer. Now look, I did find this fascinating. It's a collision of media spectacle, entrepreneurship, and moral unease. Yet it's also a scary reflection. It shows how easily empowerment rhetoric can mask deeper ethical issues. It also emphasizes that choices matter, but so do the context and consequences. If Bonnie is using her body as she wishes, that's her right. But as society, we must question what normalized extremes do to cultural values. This documentary doesn't give answers, but it forces us to ask harder questions about feminism, voyeurism, and whether sexual freedom alone is enough. Bonnie Blue may have broken records, but what has she broken in us? Let me know what you think in the comments below, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell for more deep dives like this.